Yes, today we are going to discuss editorial of newspaper of Indian Express, and nowadays a strike is going on in at Jantar Mantar, and on the 23rd July we have also done some discussion about what is our education reforms, about education reforms, and what is the government, the steps of government should initiate. And today the still, when I am covering these topics of editorial at 7:15 p.m., the news of resignation of Dharmender Pradhan have also come out. So this is the updated news. But we will see in newspaper also what the editorial demand is. The main theme is that uh, Sonam Wangchuk has ended his hunger strike, and Narendra Modi also, our Prime Minister, has initiated some of the steps which have to be taken by the government. Fast track courts will be there. Now, uh, the demand of overhauling of a whole public examination system, and these steps create a space for a dialogue between the CJP, Abhijit Deepke, Wangchuk on the one side, and the other side the government. The next, some of the finer elements will be, it must go beyond then to explore more structural transformation in the education and skilling system. It means, as we have discussed earlier, that there is a long list of educational reforms. That is why in the first paragraph itself, though this system, this basically this strike and hunger strike and all the confrontation by the students at Jantar Mantar have created a much more need, much more impressing need of some of the educational agenda on the forefront of the discourse, of the political discourse. Not only on political discourse, but also at a societal level, awareness have come on the educational reforms. Rallied the opposition. Now a longer battle begins, which will not stop at examination only. It has not restricted as, will not stop at examination reform. It must go beyond them. More structural transformation in the education, and also a skilling system. And these will need political will, resources, hard spade work. Political will is needed. So the broader aspect of, suppose that this topic is also related to essay, for importance for essay also, and it falls into GS paper 2 also. So educational reforms, uh, educational reforms, educational reforms. Okay, educational reforms. It means, suppose that a essay comes in UPPSC exam or UPSC exam. Suppose that, and I suppose in this year, in the exam of this year or next year, this will be a hit, a very hot. So transformation in the education and skilling system. So what is the need of the hour? Need of the hour is, first is the political, what the editorial says, political will is needed. First is the political. Though the law has been passed by the parliament, do you know that a bill has been passed in 2024 itself? And this news is also appeared in today newspaper and how the amendment is required. And also government is planning a tougher some changes in for preventing the leakage of the examination. Though the laws, I am emphasizing on those points. Today in the Indian Express, this newspaper, this news has published about the reforms, and this reforms has been passed by the parliament. But what about the result? Again in 2024, again in 2025, again paper leak, in 2026 again paper leak has happened. So a tougher law is the need. And this is a very astonishing that a law has been passed by the parliament and still the problem is ongoing. What is the use of passing the law? What is the use of passing the law? Why in very short period of time, only in within 2 years, it was failed? How was it possible? India boasts of a largest democracy in the world. A law was passed. Though this law has not been mentioned in this editorial, I am linking this news and awareing you about the law and linking it with the law. I am raising the question. By raising question, I am emphasizing and try to link it and create awareness among the students to think carefully, and insight is the need of the hour. Now, resources is also requirement of the resources. Many of the staffs and the officers has been suspended in the NTA. Yesterday, the secretary has resigned, and today in the afternoon a news came that Dharmendra Pradhan has resigned. Now, much need conversation. Now, what the lines ahead are in the discussion, the second part of the paragraph, though the third paragraph is also there, third segment is also there, we are focusing on second segment. Much needed conversation towards repair and renewal will need to begin. Will it move ahead with Dharmendra Pradhan as its education minister? A question mark is there. It means what the question mark has been raised in this editorial, though it has been published and the newspaper comes in the morning, and after 5 and 6 hours the news of the resignation of Dharmendra Pradhan comes at a national level. So it has been appeared. So the leak of the NEET exam paper, that this is the trigger for all the protest. And so the last one in 2024 and again in 2026, the paper leak, the incident of paper leak has happened. And a law was passed in 2024. A law was passed, though it had not been discussed in this editorial. And what is a key demand? What should be the accountability? Who will take the accountability? If an examination happens, who will take the accountability? Ultimately, education minister should take accountability. Officers involved into should take accountability. And is not there that Prime Minister himself should take the accountability? If you are conducting examination, the government is conducting examination. So I am raising a question, not trying to answer it. You should try to answer it. Much work lies ahead, which will need negotiation at multiple levels. The editorial has been appeared on the negotiation point. Will need to show humility and openness. This is the very good words had been used. Not just crisis management skills. This is the test of not the crisis management. In the very short run, it will work, but in the long term, it will not work. Only managing the crisis, how the protest will be dissolved, how the protest and hunger strike will end. This is the short-term agenda. Long-term problems will continue if we do not take educational reforms. It means, most importantly, the road to enduring reform will have to pass through the parliament. A session of the parliament is going on, and along with Jantar Mantar protest is ongoing. The need of the hour is that the agenda of the reforms should be discussed in the parliament Mahapanchayat of the country. Why should not? It should be discussed in the parliament. So you have suppose that you are writing an essay. So all this should be in your mind, that all what the editorial teaches us. Writing, basically writing a skill. And I will also introduce some of the lessons, some of the tricks about the essay writing skills also. And will show how to write a proper answer, showing you along with showing you the best answers of essay. I have repeatedly commented. And it is the time now for the people, elected representative, to play their role in hammering out the shape of the change. Where are the people's representative? Why the CJP comes to the Jantar Mantar? Why? What is the need? It means the failure of the opposition party and the government. At one hand, the opposition party. On the other hand, the government also failed. Where are the elected representatives? What are these they are doing for all these 2 or 3 months after the paper leak? It means some neutral party like CJP and the students took to the streets and took the roads and took the steps to going marching to Jantar Mantar. So in the second paragraph, it is the focus area of it is the time now for the people's elected representative. It means the discussion should be in the parliament. First, the government denied it. There is a hesitation. Why this agitation? It is beyond understanding. Dedicated judicial mechanism also. Judiciary, the role of the judiciary comes into the focus also. So what will the judiciary? Suppose that you are writing a proper essay on educational reforms. It will play some part of some of the percentage of the whole essay, not total of it. Dedicated judicial mechanisms could become an important part of the broader accountability framework. The choosing the right words, inculcating, using those words in your writing will ultimately result in using good words and an impressive impact on your whole essay. As an investigation by this paper has shown, trials in paper have progressed at a very snail pace, and generally people go scot-free. So irregularity happens every time, and the conviction rate is very low. These recurring exam fiasco also expose deeper structural flaws. Criminal law cannot address, this is the point. Only framing criminal law will not stop the leakage of the examination. What will be the other steps should be taken? India's examination ecosystem, the word here, see this. India's examination ecosystem, the word is ecosystem. Very nice word. Education ecosystem, financial ecosystem. So in this word, ecosystem is a word which can be adding in any system, ecosystem will create a new coinage of some new terms. Though the term is already old, but giving a new sense is unforgiving. Millions of young people, after years of spent schooling, after coaching, devoting so much of time, so much of investment of rupees, emotional investment also, family saving, culminate in a single examination, whether it's a prestigious institutions or securing government job. India young needs a more spacious system that help them students spread their wings and pursue good opportunities. The reading and understanding of the editorial, basically conclusion is very important. That's why I have repeatedly I tell about how the last line will be studied. How it means a proper discussion while functioning transparency is very need of the hour, and the all stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? Who are the stakeholders? Who are the stakeholders? Stakeholders are parents, teachers, students, political class, parliament, elected representative, society at large, teachers, education experts, people's representative. Young have made it possible that process to begin. So it means the power of the students, their march on the Jantar, their march on the Jantar Mantar, and in this way we have concluded our. The next is Trump's Saudi nuclear gambit, and it is also important for prelims as well as mains examination. Prelims, Abraham Accord is there, and in prelims examination for UPSC and UPPSC examination, and also for BPSC, it is important for how the civil nuclear agreement between Saudi Arabia and USA is important for prelims also, and for mains also. What is the civil nuclear program of the future of the civil nuclear program requires, and what is the lack of our part in the developing our civil nuclear program? Suppose that a question arises, and our target of the how many of gigawatt up to 2047 of the Viksit Bharat from the nuclear energy. I am giving you the some of the targets. You have to some factual knowledge should be there. What is the target of our producing electricity from nuclear energy? Okay, so it is a relevance of for pre and mains also. So the news is that Saudi Arabia, okay, And Washington's decision to sign a civil nuclear cooperation agreement with the Saudi Arabia basically is an important shift in the Middle East geopolitics. The word has been used. The new word I will show it how the word has been used. So geoeconomics, geopolitics. The word is the geopolitics, and it is important for the IR section. Okay, it will be a part of, can be a part of a bigger questions on the international relation questions. It will be some use of quoting some international events. If suppose that India's nuclear defense program is suppose that you are discussing, and you can take the example and giving the example of Saudi Arabia and USA deal also improve your effectiveness of your answer writing. Okay, you can interlink with any of the question. Highlight the growing role of advanced technology in the regional power balance. This is the regional power balance. And this issue is related to Israel, this issue is related to Iran. On the one side, basically the discussion is very important for, on the one side, USA is blocking the enrichment of the nuclear technology, enrichment of the uranium from the Iran side. And on the other, it is creating and it is dealing a sign with the Saudi Arabia for civil nuclear technology, development of the civil nuclear program. So it is a paradox, and it is a quite uneasiness among whole politics of the Middle East. So face a closer scrutiny, though it will be ultimately it will be sanctioned by the US Congress, but opposition from Israel supporters also, and non-proliferation is this proliferation of the though the agreement, the NPT, you have the knowledge of, should have the knowledge of the NPT, non-proliferation treaty, discussed in the separate series. The deal will help Riyadh build a civil nuclear energy program and reduce its dependence on hydrocarbons basically. Now the global warming is going on. Suppose that an essay arises on the need of the nuclear technology, need of the civil nuclear defense program, and how it will curtail in global warming. So it will be some usefulness. Washington wants American companies to build Saudi reactors and secure a long-term position in its nuclear infrastructure. Now, the next paragraph is the main controversy, the possibility of a uranium enrichment facility in Saudi Arabia when Washington seeks to roll back Iran's nuclear capability. This is the paradox which I have mentioned. The contradiction also points to this is the contradiction to the strategic rationale behind the agreement. And basically to address Saudi concerns about the regional nuclear balance. Basically, Saudi Arabia wants also a close coordination with the USA and Israel. So there is a fault line between, on the one side, the Arab world, and the other side is the Iran. So, so far, the growth of the Iranian power relative to Arab neighbors has already encouraged the UAE establish civil nuclear program. It means on the global stage, there is some type of mad rush towards development of civil nuclear program by each country. India is also in that race. UAE is also in the race. Saudi Arabia is also new entrants. So built by American company. India has also collaborated with the USA. USA is a very leading. They had the very they has the very they have the very leading American companies who are very expertise in developing reactors. Even in India, thorium, this is a question of thorium-based uranium enrichment. Many of the news has appeared, and in the separate series, we will discuss about the science and technology. I will start some of the series of the science and technology series also, specific. So such arrangement could reduce proliferation risk while giving Riyadh a measure of strategic parity with Tehran. It means Riyadh has also far resisted joining the Abraham. What is the need of, what is the Abraham Accord? The Abraham Accord. Abraham Accord. What is the Abraham Accord? It will be for important for UPSC and UPPSC also. Basically, Abraham Accord was signed in 2020 by the first Trump administration. The second time Trump has became the president of the, in the first tenure, in his first tenure, he accorded, accord was passed, agreement, basically Abraham Accord is agreement between the USA and Israel, and a sympathy, creating a cartel of the supporters among the Arab world. The focus of the Abraham Accord was, in one line, creating some supporters of Israel in Arab world. And this is the name of the Abraham is given by. It means Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, all the three, all the story of the history of these three religions associates with the history of the Jerusalem. Okay, that why the Abraham, the name of the Abraham is important for. The nuclear agreement could therefore become part of a wider triangle negotiation. Washington, first party, Riyadh, second, and the Tel Aviv over regional security. Basically, Abraham Accord is related to all these three triangular negotiations: Palestinian statehood and the future of Arab-Israel relations. And the Arab-Israel relation. What will be the Arab-Israel relations? Guideline of and accepting the Abraham Accord. India, and what is the position of India? How India is related? For this, why editorial has appeared? This is the question, and its answer lies in the last paragraph, basically. In the last paragraph. India is largely absent from the emerging nuclear industrial competition in the Middle East. Why this? This reflects decades of, even in the Hormuz crisis or even in the USA-Iran crisis, basically the participation by the India is negligent. Even in the peace process, or whether in assisting USA or assisting Iran, India has kept its position as more and more as a neutral position. And in the civil nuclear also in the field, a resistance in New Delhi and Mumbai to reforming the atomic energy sector. US-Saudi agreement should accelerate the implementation of the Shanti Act. What is the Shanti Act? What is the Shanti Act? Shanti Act. And prepare this, we will discuss Shanti Act, and helps to prepare India's industry to participate in the export of nuclear technology across the Middle East. Indian industry can export of nuclear technology if India, like, see, you can in the recent initiative by in the space sector, how a private space agency and company has launched its first spacecraft, first space launched. So in that way, if we have the expertise of nuclear technology in the field of nuclear technology, some revenues can be earned by exporting them across the Middle East. Politically also, economically, it will benefit economically, and politically, And politically, Delhi should support the US-Saudi agreement. Underwritten by ironclad non-proliferation. What is the non-proliferation safeguards? Safeguards is the well-placed and offer assistance to Riyadh civilian nuclear program. Why? Why India should support Riyadh USA civil nuclear defense program? Why? Because India is in the need of also a proper civil nuclear program, enhancing its capability of uranium enrichment, because due to the global warming, we should adopt more and more reliability on our nuclear energy program. That's why politically it should, basically this is the view of the newspaper. Basically reading and comprehensively discussing all the editorial will enhance your capability of using your reason and build your own opinion about a certain program, government policies, or international relations questions. That's it. Okay, thank you. Next we will meet.